Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from T&J, and today is a good day. The Brewers right now are 8-8. We're in the middle of the division, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, you see that news, Lewis Brinson, it's his turn in the show. He's about to get his shine on. Let's just see what we're about to do with him. Like, really what we're going to do. He has that little cold little snowflake thing just because he was hitting like 220 in AAA. But I don't care because he's going to rake in the show. He's going to bat second behind VR. We're going to move Domingo Santana. Let's go to the no DH. We're going to move Domingo Santana actually to the bench because we need room for Brinson. I mean, it's just that simple. If we play an AL team and we have a DH, he'll be in the lineup. But for now, man, I got to keep Keon Broxton in there. Even though he's hitting 182, he's actually pretty clutch. Like, his clutch rating is 48, but he has great fielding. I mean, he gets to everything in the outfield pretty much, and I'm going to need that. So, Domingo Santana, he's all right in the field. I mean, his arm strength 72. I think Brinson's is a little bit lower than that, 65. So, that's the only downfall. We're losing a little defense, but we're gaining a lot of offense, even though Santana was hitting 347 on the year. I don't care because it's Brinson's turn. You know, I never noticed, but dude he's 6'5". He's pretty big. So, man, I'm excited. He's about to get his shine on in the MLB, at the MLB level. And we're going against Carlos Martinez and the Cardinals. We're at home. This is our first game at home in about a lot of games, like 9 games in a row. We had a 9-game road trip, I believe. So it's time to get home. We're going against St. Louis. Let's get it going. The debut of Lewis Brinson. It's finally here. We're going up against the Cardinals here at Miller Park. They're 8-7. We're 8-8. So we're looking to take their position in the standings with this win here if we can get it. Zach Davies is on the mound. He's been roughed up a little bit, but he's going to look to bounce back versus the Cardinals. So early first inning, they're going to start it off with a leadoff hit to start the game, and they got a runner on first. But the next batter, a couple batters later, we get him to strike out. Zach Davies is looking good early, but we're going against Carlos Martinez, who's always a tough outing. He's 2-0 on the year. ERA is 2.25. So to start off the game, Jonathan VR takes one deep back to the warning track, but their left fielder is going to get to it. So Lewis Brinson steps up to the plate in his debut at bat, and he gets a nice pitch over the middle, and he just pops it up. We all know he's got that power to go deep at any time. I'm excited for what he brings to the table. But Zach Davies gives up a deep fly off the wall. Lewis Brinson is playing. Look at how he's playing it. I'm trying to get to the ball, and they're just letting me circle it. So they get in there with a triple, and the next batter up is going to have a nice liner to Ryan Braun, and Ryan Braun can't hold on to the hard liner. So they get a runner into second, sliding in there with a double. And the next batter comes up, Yadier Molina, hits a dribbler to the pitcher. The pitcher can't handle it at first, but the guy tries to go to third, so I throw it to third, and he is gunned out, trying to get into a scoring position. And the next batter pops it up to the first baseman, Jesus Aguilar, and we get out of there, but we do surrender a run. And the next inning, again, the Cardinals are up, and they get a hit up the middle. So Zach Davies is giving up hits left and right here as another hit up the middle. And Keon Broxton comes up throwing, but at least we stop them from getting to third on that. But the next batter grounds to the first baseman, and we get out of there. Lewis Brinson comes up for his second at-bat, and he hits a hard grounder to second, but the second baseman's there. So Lewis Brinson 0 for 2 so far. He cannot get it done so far, but Zach Davies is on the mound, and he's finding his groove. He's striking out a guy. So Keon Broxton comes up the next inning, and he smacks one deep to right field. And this one is not going to leave the park, but it's going to be a ground rule double. So Broxton's going to be on second to start the inning. Jesus Aguilar at least advances him to third. So now we have a guy on third, so a base hit will score him. and Orlando Arcia gets a nice liner to the outfield, and they bring in that run, and the Brewers tie it up at 1 right in the middle of the game. And luckily, on a drop third strike, the pitcher, he reaches first. I think Yadier Molina could have threw him out there, and Jonathan Villar comes up to bat. Perfect, going straight up to the top of the lineup, and Jonathan Villar hits a nice gapper there, and the runner is going to come in to score. Zach Davies is rounding third, but he's not going to make it, so I'm bringing him back. He's just a pitcher. He's not that fast. So Jonathan Villar comes up clutch, and Lewis Brinson cannot get it done again. He's 0 for 3 on the day, but luckily Zach Davies is on the mound. But look at this. He gives up a big fly. And that left field wall is so attractive to hitters at Miller Park because it seems like everybody that comes into town is hitting homers. So I have to bring in Tommy Malone in relief, the lefty, off the bullpen. And he gets a hit to right field, the first batter he faces. So they got a guy on first to start off the inning. Yadier Molina comes up and he gets a hit right through the third base hole. So they got a guy on first and second with Tommy Malone, the relief pitcher. And they get down a nice bunt here, and luckily Travis Shaw comes up firing, but they still got runners on second and third with 2 outs, and they get a hit right up the middle. Keon Broxton is going to come up throwing, but luckily that guy on third only has 10 speed, so he's not going to make it. And Tommy Malone is going to get the next guy to ground out to Travis Shaw, but the Cardinals are going to take the 3-2 lead here at Miller Park. But luckily Jesus Aguilar gets a hold of a pitch and takes it to right field, and he's rounding first, headed to second, and he slides into second with a double. So we got a guy on second here in the 7th inning, and Orlando Arcia stays hot. He's bringing in the runner from third, and Jesus Aguilar is coming home, and he gets gunned out at the plate. But Orlando Arcia advances to second, and Domingo Santana cannot bring him in. But the next inning, Lewis Brinson gets up again, and he looks like he's going to start his MLB career with a 0 for 4 day. He grounds out to short, and Travis Shaw comes up, and he can't get anything done. And that is going to be the story for the rest of the game as Keon Broxton comes up, and he strikes out. And the next batter, Jet Bandy, for the last out, strikes out looking on a questionable curveball in the inside corner. But the Cardinals are going to escape with the win. The Brewers cannot get over 500. Lewis Brinson goes 0 for 4, but hopefully he can bounce back in his next game. Hit subscribe and see you there.